This simple spoonful of instant coffee feels like magic. Just add hot water and your cup is ready in seconds. But behind this instant moment is a long, hidden journey through a massive, high-tech coffee factory. Deep inside factories like this, raw green beans are roasted, extracted, and dried into tiny crystals of coffee flavor. Every day, hundreds of tons of beans move through a maze of pipes, roasters, and dryers you never get to see. Today, we'll go behind the scenes to watch how factories turn solid beans into instant, soluble coffee. It all starts with these unroasted green coffee beans that don't look or smell like your morning brew at all. To become instant coffee, they'll be roasted, ground, brewed industrially, then turned into solid granules again. Different origins, different bean varieties, factories blend them to build a consistent flavor you recognize every morning. In this tour, we'll follow each key stage, from bean arrival to roasting and extraction to drying and packaging. We'll see how raw material is inspected, how flavor is protected, and how quality is checked at every step. So, let's step inside the secret world of the instant coffee factory and watch your cup come to life. The journey begins as trucks deliver sacks or bulk loads of green coffee beans from farms and ports. Each shipment is tracked, weighed, and logged into the factory's inventory system. Before a single bean enters production, the factory confirms the delivery against contracts and quality specs.
Random sacks are sampled with long probes to get a representative mix of beans for testing. Technicians check bean size, color, and visible defects like black beans or broken pieces.
Moisture content is measured too, because it affects roasting and shelf life.
A moisture analyzer dries the test sample to calculate how much water the beans still hold.
Some factories even roast a small sample in the lab to cup and taste before approving the delivery.
The sample roast helps confirm flavor profile and detect any off notes before large-scale roasting. Professional tasters compare multiple lots to keep the final instant coffee taste consistent all year.
If beans meet the standards, the lot is accepted and cleared to enter the main plant.
Even at this early stage, dust extraction systems keep the air clean and safe for female workers.
The beans are temporarily stored in large silos, grouped by origin, grade, and quality.
Inside each silo, tons of beans wait for their turn to be blended and roasted. Operators can choose specific silos to create precise blends suited for different instant coffee products. Blending starts even before roasting, combining beans with complementary flavors and strengths.
With beans accepted and safely stored, it's time to clean and prepare them for roasting.
Cleaning is the factory's first defense against stones, dust, and stray objects that came with the beans.
Vibrating sieves separate out fine dust and small debris from the bulk of the beans.
Air currents lift away light impurities like husks and chaff, leaving the beans behind.
Powerful magnets trap any metal shards, protecting both machinery and the final product.
Now comes blending, mixing different origins and varieties to hit a specific flavor profile. Mild and aromatic beans may be balanced with stronger, more robust beans for body and caffeine.
Computer systems control the exact percentage from each silo, following recipes developed by flavor experts.
To you, the beans look similar, but tiny differences add up to a distinct instant coffee style.
Before roasting, a final visual check ensures no large foreign pieces remain in the flow.
Human eyes still play a role,
especially for catching anything machines might miss.
Once blended and clean, beans are pneumatically conveyed through pipes toward the roasters.
Air-powered systems reduce mechanical damage to beans and keep the process enclosed and hygienic.
Roasters are preheated to precise temperatures, tuned for each blend and desired roast level.
In a modern plant, multiple roasters can run in parallel, processing thousands of kilos per hour.
These pale beans are minutes away from becoming the rich brown coffee you recognize.
Let's watch how industrial roasting builds coffee's aroma on a massive scale.
Inside a drum roaster, hot air and heated metal rapidly transform the beans from the inside out.
First, the beans turn yellow as moisture evaporates, and they begin to dry.
Then they brown as complex chemical reactions develop caramel, nutty, and chocolate notes.
You can literally hear the crack as beans expand and their structure changes during roasting.
Some factories use fluid bed roasters, where beans float on hot air for fast, even roasting.
Roast profiles, time and temperature curves are carefully programmed and recorded for consistency.
Operators still draw samples mid-roast, checking color and smell against experience and standards.
At exactly the right moment, the batch is dumped to stop the roast at the desired intensity. Powerful fans cool the beans quickly, locking in the flavor and preventing over-roasting.
Even after leaving the roaster, beans release steam, gases, and aromatic compounds.
Different products may use lighter or darker roasts, depending on the target taste and market.
Roast level affects not just flavor, but also how easily coffee will later dissolve as instant granules.
Freshly roasted beans are then held in degassing silos to let carbon dioxide escape in a controlled way. If too much gas remains, it can affect extraction efficiency and create foam in later processing.
Exhaust from roasters is treated using filters and scrubbers to reduce environmental impact. Modern coffee plants monitor emissions to meet strict air quality regulations. Machines can measure roast color numerically, removing some of the guesswork from quality checks.
A small change in roast time can mean a noticeable shift from bright, acidic notes to deeper, smoky tones.
Once roasted and degassed, beans are ready for the next major step: grinding and extraction.
Roasting halls can be hot and noisy, so strict safety rules protect workers in this zone. On a busy day, these roasters may process enough beans to make millions of cups of instant coffee. With roasting complete, the beans have their flavor, but they still need to become soluble.
Next, we'll enter the heart of instant coffee production: industrial grinding and brewing. Instant coffee doesn't skip the brewing step. It just does it on an enormous industrial scale.
First, roasted beans are ground to a carefully chosen coarseness.
If the grind is too fine, extraction becomes slow and bitter. Too coarse, and flavor is left behind.
Factories monitor particle size to keep extraction predictable and efficient.
The freshly ground coffee is now fed into a series of tall extraction columns. These columns act like giant coffee makers, extracting soluble solids from ground beans. Hot water flows through them in stages, maximizing how much flavor is captured from each batch. Temperature and pressure are tightly controlled to pull out the good flavors without burning the coffee. As water passes through, it dissolves solids, oils, and aromatic compounds into a concentrated brew.
Instead of a light drip, this factory brew is thick and highly concentrated.
Operators can switch columns in and out of service, keeping extraction continuous day and night.
Once a column is exhausted, the spent grounds are removed and often sent for energy recovery or composting. The raw extract now contains tiny particles that must be removed for a smooth instant coffee.
Industrial filters and centrifuges clarify the extract, spinning out fine solids and sediments.
Centrifugal force pushes heavier particles outward, leaving a cleaner liquid in the center.
The clarified extract looks like strong black coffee, but far more concentrated. Samples are taken frequently, checked for solids content and flavor strength.
Density and solids content tell the team how strong the extract is before concentration.
Every tiny particle of ground coffee has now given up most of its soluble flavor to this liquid.
To make coffee instant, this extract must be turned into dry solids while keeping flavor intact.
This is where concentration and drying technology take over from traditional coffee brewing. First stop, multi-stage evaporators that gently boils off water under vacuum.
Lower pressure means water evaporates at lower temperatures, helping protect delicate aroma.
As extract passes from one stage to the next, it becomes thicker and more concentrated.
By the end of evaporation, it can reach over twice the original solids content.
This concentrated coffee is the feedstock for both spray-dried and freeze-dried instant coffee. Nozzles atomize the coffee concentrate into tiny droplets, which meet hot, dry air. In just a few seconds, each droplet dries into a tiny particle of instant coffee.
Gravity pulls the dried particles downward, where they collect at the base of the tower.
The powder exits through sealed valves to keep out moisture and oxygen.
Spray-dried instant coffee tends to be fine and light, dissolving quickly in hot water.
For premium products, some factories use freeze drying to create larger, more granular crystals.
First, the coffee concentrate is frozen into solid slabs at very low temperatures. Ice crystals lock in the coffee structure and aroma compounds.
The granules are loaded into vacuum chambers, where ice will be removed by sublimation.
Under vacuum and gentle heat, ice turns directly into vapor, leaving dry coffee solids behind. The result is a distinctive, chunky granule many people associate with high-quality instant coffee.
Different drying methods create different textures, but both are 100% coffee solids.
Some plants also agglomerate spray-dried powder to make bigger, more uniform granules.
A light mist makes particles stick together into small clusters, which are then dried again. Agglomerated granules flow better, scoop more easily, and dissolve more evenly in your cup.
Each type of instant coffee is stored in dedicated silos, ready for blending and aroma enhancement. Meanwhile, another system has been capturing coffee aromas released during roasting and extraction.
These concentrated aromas can be added back onto the dry granules to boost smell and taste.
A gentle spray coats the granules, refreshing the aroma lost during high heat stages.
At this point, the factory has achieved something remarkable. Real, brewed coffee, turned back into solid form.
Moisture is critical. Too high, and the coffee can clump or spoil. Too low, and aroma can suffer.
Granule size distribution is measured, so jars pour smoothly, and spoons pick up the same amount every time.
Finally, human senses still matter. Trained tasters evaluate aroma, flavor, and mouthfeel regularly.
On the production floor, personal protective equipment and hygiene gates are mandatory.
Hands, shoes, and clothing are controlled to keep outside contamination away from open product.
Safety metrics are tracked and shared, reminding everyone that people are as important as product here.
With granules perfected and tested, it's time to pack the coffee into the forms you see in stores. Precise weighers ensure each packet or jar contains exactly the right amount of coffee.
The granules flow into pre-formed sachets, which are then sealed at high speed.
For jars, glass or plastic containers are washed, dried, and fed into fully automated filling machines.
Many lines inject nitrogen to push out oxygen and protect flavor during shelf life.
Tight seals and tamper-evident bands reassure you the coffee hasn't been opened before you.
Labels carry legal information, brewing instructions, and details about the coffee type.
Robots or palletizers then stack cases or bundles onto pallets ready for the warehouse. In the warehouse, climate control and stock rotation systems protect the coffee until shipping.
Every pallet is scanned, so the factory can trace which batch ended up in which region.
From here, the instant coffee travels to distribution centers, supermarkets, offices, and home.
When you twist open a jar and smell that first burst of aroma, you're meeting the end of a very long industrial journey. From green beans and roaring roasters to spray towers and lab tests, that quick cup in your hands is a true factory-made miracle.